wet to me. If not, it's fresh overflow.
Yep, let's go see what we got. That looks pretty sketchy, Lisa. There's a lot of water here.
When Lisa Kelly became the first woman to join the cast of Ice Road Truckers in 2009, viewers didn't know what to think of it. Nonetheless, Lisa turned out to be so well liked by the audience that History Channel's producers didn't hesitate to include her in the 2 seasons of the spin-off show Deadliest Roads, surpassing the expectations of her not only as a trucker, but also as one of the series' most beloved stars. Knowing how popular she became, it's not a wonder that loyal fans of Ice Road Truckers are curious about what happened to her after the series' final season aired in 2017. Keep with us to discover what Lisa Kelly has been up to these days, where her career is going, and more details about her life. The success of Ice Road Truckers is undeniable. Throughout the 11 seasons it was on the air, it was watched by millions of people in the US and was broadcast in several countries and translated into many languages. While that's quite impressive, the series truckers have always lived regular common lives without the privileges of fellow reality stars from other shows. Lisa Kelly is no exception. Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, make sure to watch the whole video, leave a like and comment a hidden message. And without being said, let's get ready to the video. Nowadays, Lisa Kelly's lifestyle hasn't changed a lot from the times when she was on the show. She still drives trucks throughout the year, though her workload depends mostly on the season and if there's a truck available for her. As Lisa said in 2019 to the website Trucker News, for the major part of the year, she helps out a friend with his trucking company, while also filling in for other drivers when they're not available. However, ice trucking isn't an activity she's entirely left behind. In fact, it's still her favorite part of the job, even if she only does it during winter. Some of the most interesting aspects of Lisa's life, post-show cancellation, is the fact that she's often invited to trucking exhibitions in the US and Canada. This has allowed her to not only connect better with her longtime fans of Ice Road Truckers, but also with her social media followers, who are always up to interacting with her, not that constantly updated Facebook and Instagram accounts. Besides her usual job schedule, Lisa spends her time in her beloved Alaska, taking care of her horses, riding motorbikes, or even practicing mounted archery, which is not surprising, considering how prone to risky hobbies she apparently is. Regardless of how humble and easygoing Lisa's personality is, her appearances in Ice Road Truckers led her to gain quite wide fame. It's for this reason that she's been showcased in a variety of ads for Chevron's Dello, which has also given her the opportunity to tour North America while doing fan signs in events such as Diesel Fest and the Great American Truck Show. On her Facebook page, she also promotes websites dedicated to truckers and has even set up her own eBay shop to sell merchandise with her name on it, including shirts and caps which her fans seem to appreciate a lot, considering it sells out quite quickly, proving that regardless of the fact Ice Road Truckers hasn't been on the air for a while, its truckers are still well remembered and even loved by many. Celebrities' death rumors are more usual than expected, and considering how dangerous is Lisa Kelly's job, it's not surprising that a huge number of web searches of her name include variations of the word dead. However, the rumors of her death are actually the result of confusion. People mistook the former reality TV star for a British woman of the same name, whose mysterious death was reported by media in her country. Considering the women are from different countries, it's difficult to understand why people confuse them. Regardless of that, it's worth noting that the former Ice Road Trucker star Lisa Kelly is fortunately alive and well, and still working. It's still unclear why History Channel decided to put an end to Ice Road Truckers in 2017. Throughout the decade it was on the air, the show's rating was very stable, starting with 8.3 audience points in the first season and ending with 8.6 in its last. As it's obvious that the series didn't have low rating problems, it's suspected that putting an end to the show was an executive decision. This fan theory took force when the veteran trucker Alex Tebogorski posted on his Facebook fan page about his unconformity with the production of Ice Road Truckers. In his words, the production team allegedly hadn't contacted him or any of his fellow truckers for several months at that point, leading him to conclude that the show was in the dustbin of history. Later, in August 2019, during an interview at the Great American Trucking Show, Lisa Kelly showed herself very open to appear in another season for the show. However, she also admitted that despite being in contact with the History Channel, an agreement hadn't been made with the network just yet. While a new season of Ice Road Truckers is an unlikely possibility, it's worth noting that the show clearly had good impact on the perception the general public had of truckers and shed some light onto what such a dangerous but valuable job entails. Lisa Kelly was born in Michigan, but her home for the longest time has been Alaska, to where her family moved when she was 6 years old. Regardless of the fact that her family had to buy groceries in town, Lisa's early life growing up on a farm near Sterling was simple and tranquil. It's also interesting to know that Lisa was never interested in following her parents' career paths in the health field. Instead, she cast around to discover what she really wanted, which is the main reason she took a small, temporary job at a local gas station. As Lisa described it herself on her now-disappeared website, she did everything from cashier and making espressos to pumping propane until it was her time to go to college in her native Michigan. Lisa Kelly's time in university wasn't long. She only attended Cornerstone University for a semester until she decided it wasn't working for her there. It's known that she returned to Alaska and was planning on joining a specialized school in another city. But she really hasn't disclosed what she wanted to study back then, except for the fact that she changed her plans in favor of maintaining a romantic relationship. Although falling in love was unexpected, it was the thing that made her stay in Alaska and search for a variety of jobs to sustain herself. That's how she ended up working as a pizza deliverer, and from then on, she just knew that being a driver was the thing she most loved doing. Later, she went on to work as a van driver for a bakery, a job which she quickly left to become a school bus driver. Thinking the added experience and her newly obtained Class B license was enough to take the next step in her career, Lisa started applying for jobs as a truck driver without much luck for several months. Luckily, Lisa's persistence ultimately led her to gain a spot with the local company Carlisle Transportation. Once again, she didn't have enough experience to drive a truck for them right away and was stuck driving a van for some time. But fortunately, the company eventually allowed her to practice on their trucks. That was the only type of training she'd had in the field, but it apparently served her right, as not long after she obtained a commercial driver's license and was legally ready to take a truck on the road. As is well known, in 2009, Lisa Kelly became the first woman to join the cast of Ice Road Truckers during its third season. She stayed in the series until the end of the fourth season, when she took a year-long break, then returned for the seventh season until the show's end in 2017. Looking back to when she was first invited to appear in the show, it was an admittedly sudden and unexpected suggestion made by her then boss at Carlisle Transportation, who only asked if she wanted to be on TV. Not even knowing what it was about, Lisa accepted and soon signed a contract with History. However, the things about herself that she had to change in order to fit the series structure better are not well known by many. As Lisa told the website Truck News in 2020, she was chosen to appear in Ice Road Truckers for eye candy, something she wasn't too excited about. But instead of following along or leaving, she took it as a challenge. I was like, I'm going to prove that I'm more than that. While she indeed proved herself worthy of being enough of a truck driver to appear in the show, Lisa certainly feels that what people got to see about her doesn't represent her entirely. It wasn't only the fact that she had to give up a big part of the library that ice trucking normally entails by being observed in every step of her work. She also feels that there was a certain undertone in the way that she was portrayed, and she said to herself, "Because I had blonde hair, they were kind of, let's play the dumb blonde character." Although her feelings regarding the show might be mixed, it was her job that led her to become one of the few truck drivers to appear in the 2 seasons of the spin-off Deadliest Roads, also becoming one of the most famous of them all. While Lisa Kelly is not too keen about revealing personal things to the general public, she has certainly let her fans know some interesting facts about her love life and everyday hobbies. Back in 2014, Lisa revealed that she had been married to Travis Kelly since 2008. There's some suggestion that Kelly is also her maiden name. The love between them apparently blossomed through motocross, a hobby both of them shared and the reason they met in 2004, when Lisa was buying a Kawasaki bike. Although at the time, they didn't exchange numbers. By some sort of destiny, they met again during a race event. And it wasn't long until they started dating, eventually marrying 4 years later. You might be wondering if Travis is the same guy Lisa wanted to stay in Alaska for when she left college. Though that information is unfortunately unknown, judging by the time those events happened and how long the couple was dating, there's a possibility Travis is indeed that guy. One of the many questions Lisa usually receives when asked about her relationship is, how does she deal with keeping her marriage afloat despite her busy job schedule? The answer she usually gives is that Travis is a very understanding husband, even despite the fact that he stays working as a plumber while she's on the road for several months a year. Reality star salaries are sometimes impressive and other times disappointing. In Lisa Kelly's case, she has admitted that she wasn't paid by History Channel during the first 2 seasons she appeared in Ice Road Truckers, only revealing that she received an incentive from a trucking company to continue appearing in it. However, her salary from the show hasn't been disclosed, though it supposedly wasn't too much per season. Nonetheless, normal truckers can earn over $50,000 per year, while Ice Road Truckers earn over $40,000 per season. Besides that, Lisa Kelly also earns money from a contract with brands and sales of merchandise. All in all, her estimated net worth is at over $500,000 as of early 2021. Lisa Kelly's debut in Ice Road Truckers in 2007 was received by the media and fans of the series with both skepticism and interest. Ever since the start, the way she was portrayed on the media was evidently focused on her looks, even winning her the Esquire magazine's title for the sexiest trucker alive. However, people fortunately started appreciating Lisa as the dedicated trucker she actually is. By taking a quick look at her Facebook page with almost 1 million followers, it's obvious her fans are still very loyal to her, even years after the end of the show, which is not only impressive, but also proof of how big an impact Lisa Kelly had on people. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.